Welcome to the Solemn Yu-Gi-Oh channel, where we discuss everything collecting and investing in Yu-Gi-Oh, and sometimes the collectibles market as a whole. So I have been getting the question, should I invest in the Digimon TCG that's coming up? I feel like there's some disconnect in communication or understanding here, because these markets, these collecting/investing markets into cards, are mostly built on vintage cards. Now, how can you have vintage cards in a card game that is not out yet? There literally exists no collector's market for Digimon, the new game that is. Yes, there are some old cards. However, even there is no collector's market for yet. But so how are you gonna buy some of the iconic cards we all grew up with if there is no such thing? So first of all, there are gonna be people entering this game. It's all gonna be 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds. Maybe some people that grew up on Digimon. But again, these cards are widely available. They're gonna be just printed for all the new players. They're not gonna get destroyed by little kids. So there is no rarity whatsoever. I can call up my distributor right now and get it all. So when we talk about investing, which is usually seen as you buy cards and you sit on them for 5, 10 years and so forth, there is no such thing for Digimon yet. Now, I'm not saying you can't make money in that new niche, let's say. There will be people with shops, vendoring, buying cases, cracking them, selling the singles, but that isn't investing. That is just being a vendor. If you go buy strawberries at a wholesaler and then sell them to people, you are not a strawberry investor. You are a strawberry store or a fruit store. So it's very important to understand that difference. You calling up a distributor right now, like Blackfire in Europe or some other one in America, saying, hey, I want some Digimon cases, cracking them and then selling the singles, cool. You will probably make money. You know, the game has some hype behind it. Now, if that's gonna last, that's another big question. That company has made so many TCGs that were all canned. So be very aware that the death of that card game after a couple of years is possible. But even so, in the short term, surely you can make your money there. Just be very aware, you are being a vendor. You are not investing. You're not sitting on iconic cards or anything like that. The market still has to be made. So you are also taking on far more risk. With that being said, maybe you're early to market. Maybe this card game blows up and in 20 years it's gonna be the new Pokemon or the new Yu-Gi-Oh, and boom, you sat on the cards from the get-go. Sure, but what's far more likely is that you sit on these cards and that nothing happens and the game doesn't take off and it dies and you just had all this capital tied up for 20 fucking years. Both options can happen. So don't just ask how much you can make, also ask how much you can lose. Now, when I get this question, I very often just start to consider, I don't think you are asking if you can invest in Digimon. I think what's really happening is that you're extremely excited for a new card game that you can try out with your friends, that you can enjoy playing, and now you're trying to mentally tell yourself that it's financially responsible to spend a lot of money on it. So a lot of people are not gonna like that answer because no, I'm totally being rational about this. I wanna invest. No, you don't. If you followed any of the information on this channel, you are very aware of how I think about things and how, let's say, these markets work. There is no market yet. So you're taking on a lot of risk and you're probably just gonna be a vendor instead of an investor, which is fine. You can make your money there. It's just a completely different thing. So I really think you're just financially telling yourself, I'm gonna buy all these boosters. I'm gonna have so much fun in Digimon, and that's fine, but it's also gonna appreciate, I'm gonna make my money there. I don't know about that. So be very aware of that. Don't get clouded judgment because you're trying to turn I'm gonna have fun in this game into I'm gonna make a lot of money in this game. Very often they don't go together. The second you start taking the cards out of the cases, if you break them as a vendor, as a shop, not as an investor, the second you start taking those cards out for yourself, you are destroying your margins. Margins on case breaks are awful by design. Because if they weren't, everyone would do it and they would become awful. So margins on case breaks suck ass. So by taking out cards for yourself to play, you are destroying any profit you could have possibly made. So if you are gonna be a player, it's very likely your case breaks aren't actually gonna work out that well. So you really have to be able to separate them. Do you wanna play that new game? Go ahead, go enjoy them. Buy your decks, buy your booster packs, enjoy. You don't have to tell yourself that it's also a financially stonks move, because that will lead you to spend way more money that you may not have, saying, oh, but it's an investment, don't you worry, it's all okay. It might not be okay. That is all. Hope you found this interesting. Do I want to play the game? Not really. I have quite some friends who are gonna try it. Cool. Enjoy. Just don't try to cloud your judgment with, oh no, it's gonna be a stonks investment. If you wanna be a shop, go ahead. Just don't try to equate it to the Charizards and the Blue Eyes, because right now, it's not happening.